We are here. We are live.
Hey.
Yeah, I don't think we have any viewers yet. That's all good.
Yeah.
You can just hang out while we wait for people to show up. Sip my Diet Coke with no caffeine, so I can go to bed
What's
today.
the point? You don't have caffeine. That doesn't make any sense.
Because it will prevent me from going to sleep. No caffeine after, the rule is no caffeine after 8 p.m. But are you the viewer, or do you have a viewer?
I am the viewer.
Aww.
I am the one that views. I'm looking forward to this weekend.
Sorry?
I'm looking forward to the weekend.
Okay. Want to tell the internet everything that's on here this weekend?
I'm sure they know. Everyone already knows. I mean, who doesn't know about Elden Ring? Right?
Oh, like that. Gotcha. Well, yeah, it's the 23rd, right? So that's 19th.
No, my birthday's the 23rd.
Oh, that's why the 23rd's in my head. When's Elden Ring then? Is it Friday?
Yeah, the Friday.
Alright, nice. Well, I know what I'm doing on Friday.
Yep. Alright. Do you want to just have... Hey, we have one more person. Hello. Do you want to just bring up the, just like have a TTS up?
Yeah. Wait, do we have one more person? I still only see one viewer.
I saw it go up to 2 for like half a second.
I guess we'll do our intro and stuff from here, and then we'll pop over to TTS. So we will.
Yeah. Do we need to do our mic check or sound?
With no one to check us, then I don't know if there's anything we can do.
We're stuck.
We're stuck. Yeah. But hello, and welcome to another of the weekly. Almost like, I don't know why I said creepy there. Of the weekly, not creepy. Streams with the Chrono Walkers. So this is your weekly Genesis content creation and projection, content dispersal.
Hey Damien, how's it going?
Hey Damien, welcome. I guess nothing too Genesis happened for me this
Hello
week.
Jeremy.
Hey, Jeremy, almost the most important person for reasons that will be revealed later to join this stream.
Gotta build up suspense.
Yeah.
How's our sound? I think that's just tradition at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I've got it at the same. I mean, I always have it at the same settings as the previous week, but.
Yeah, but you know, I guess we change every week.
Yeah.
Good to me. All right.
Perfect. Yeah, let's launch this. Hey. So, kind of excited because if you saw our splash / the description, we're gonna be looking at some deck lists that were provided by our very own Jeremy Heron in chat. We'll see. We'll definitely get through one. With our track record, let's see if we can hit a second. But no promises. I bet this just means you have more content. I actually promise that we won't. Yeah, with that, I think let's just go into the TTS space, Tabletop Simulator. Now we can see Jeremy's deck. I'm going to try and bring that up nice, as big as I can make it, though it'll still be hard to make out cards, but that's okay. I'll bring out my one. And yeah, we'll just take a look at the cards one by one and kind of break down this deck from bottom to top. So this is an ESA I guess, deck. Let's bring Essa on us big. So
Mhm.
Essa is a 22 health, 85 aura, so very low aura, and 3 energy, very high energy. In fact, highest energy in the game. Forward awareness champion. We're in Thymos and Phage colors, red and green. We've got a swift Earth attack 2 with an exert. And then we got a bash trigger. Whenever you deal earth damage to a champion or summon, they may pay 3 energy. If they do not, then they gain stun for this round. And summons cannot pay energy because they do not have a deck. So basically, this is kind of reading whenever Essa deals earth damage, which is Essa's earth attack, or just any earth technique or spell, then a summon we stunned, but a champion has a chance to pay 3 or not to be stunned. And yeah, stunned being that you can't move or rotate. Yeah. Sorry?
Yes. I say Essa just ignores us in the mirror match.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, because it could just pay the 3 energy. So I guess taking it from the bottom, we've got Earth Strike. When you deal, it's just a 1 Earth damage with a sick awareness, forward awareness, for 8 aura. 1 Earth damage to target Earth Strike's awareness. And then if you've dealt Earth damage already this round, say, I don't know, by S's Earth attack, then it costs 4 aura instead, which is sweet. Moving in, our other 3 chi is Toughen Up, which is forward, left, right awareness. We got Swift 3 aura, Defense 2, prevent the next 2 damage dealt to you by a target in Toughen Up's awareness this round. And then while you have been dealt damage by an enemy, Toughen Up's Defense 2 becomes Defense 3 this round. Quite a 6 Toughen Ups there to round out our 3 chis. Going into our 4 chis, we've got first Earth Spear, that same awareness, forward, left, right. This is 4 chi, 2 earth damage for 11 aura at swift speed. And this has, when anything is dealt damage by Earth Spear, they gain pinned this round and the next round. So that this permanent cannot leave its spot for 2 rounds. So even more. Yeah, wow. Even more. And this one can't be gotten out of. But at least you still get to rotate with this. This, I think... Oh, no. We have another 4 chi here in No Pain, No Gain. So this
a lot of 4 chis.
Is yeah, I mean, you gotta support your 8 chis there, but this is an enchantment with the enchant ability, so it goes on you for 8 aura, and then when the enemy deals damage to you, draw a card, and then at the end of each round, if you have drawn 1 or more cards because of No Pain, No Gain, sacrifice No Pain, No Gain. So basically, yeah, like this kind of forces, interestingly, a bit of a longer game if they don't want you to draw cards, because they want to hit you once, you draw 1 card, and then let it go to the end of the round, and then No Pain, No Gain, kind of caps out.
So I do want to bring up something. Apparently, Toughen Up is going to route it to 3 energy, not 3 aura.
Oh, good to know. I did not know that one. Cool. So that is supposed to be 3 energy. Then, let's see, we've got our 5 chi, which is right here. Diving Juke, premier movement technique for Thymos. Don't need to talk too much about it, we've talked about it before. Then we got 2 lunges. This is one of the coolest cards that was in, I think, Invasions, which is, it's a basic attack and a hop. And then whenever you resolve one of them, you get the choice of resolving the next one and playing it. For 5 energy. So like it is a movement and an attack, or an attack and a movement, or just whatever you need, just if it's just one of them. So great card there. I guess Electrical Storm, always good to have one of these catch-all cards. 16 aura, 3 damage in the Tsunami awareness, 6 damage if it's hitting something with aerial. Vault, left, right, forward awareness again. This is popping up a lot in this deck, which is great. You like it when your stuff overlaps like this. But this one is a movement technique. 4 energy. Place yourself on a spot in Vault's awareness. And then it's action speed, but when you are at or below half of your starting health, Vault's action ability becomes a swift ability. Then I think, yes, these are... okay, we got 7 chis and 8 chis. So yeah, let's look at the 7 chis first. So first we got 6 copies of Rending Blade, forward awareness, swift. 7 energy and 3 energy, or as Essa likes to call it, that's just 4 energy. Basic attack 5. And when it deals damage to a champion, negate all abilities from cards on the stack with a name you choose, and cards with that name cannot be played for this round and the next round. So if you're up in the face, which fighters tend to do, this is a great counter spell plus some damage, or negation, I guess, plus some damage. Then our other 7 chi is Sundered Sweep. This is area heavy attack 5, action 6 energy. Trigger: when anything is dealt damage by Sundered Sweep, they lose all continuous abilities this round. That can just turn off some champions like Kasha or Iblis. Yeah, so this is a really powerful effect, and it's just a speed attack. Even though it's at action speed, it's 5 damage at 7 chi. So, and with that forward awareness and the fact that it doesn't target, there's lots to like here. And then we've got our 8 chi. So we got 3 precise thrusts up top. So left, right, and forward awareness. 8 chi. And that's a swift basic attack 5 for 5 energy. And then when it's on the stack, whenever an ability is played, you may negate precise thrust. If you do, then return it from your memories into your thoughts. This is a sweet synergy with Essa, because each time you play this, it only costs 2 energy. And then if they do something where it's not going to hit, you can just return it to your thoughts. And then have a chance to replay it again for just 2 energy. So, and then final card, Lunging Assault, another card which we love. 13 energy or 10 to Essa, but it's still a solid 5th of your deck, more than a 5th if you've drawn cards, which we typically do to start a game of Genesis.
I try to draw cards.
Yeah, and then you may move, you may rotate. And then if you have moved because of Lunging Assault, then you deal 6 range damage to a target in Lunging Assault awareness. This does so much for getting inside. It's a favorite card for me, actually, just because of how fast you close. But very high cost. So we can't see too many copies, which is why we have 3. All right, so that's all the cards. Eric, you wanna any thoughts?
Yeah. Well, I want you to scroll down a little bit.
Okie doke.
And we want to see something very important. Scroll down.
Ooh. Oh, right here?
No. Go down. You see the most important thing right there that some people sometimes forget is that this deck actually has 50 cards and 250 chi, which is great. So we've already hit like a really good point right there. So I think once you get that, then we can kind of start critiquing the deck a little bit. That being said, I do kind of like the general construction of this deck. I haven't played it. I guess Jeremy, you can kind of maybe expand on it. You know, how it feels to play, your general strategies, if you want to, pipe up, or say something in the chat. But like, I see what I like to see in these type of decks where you have a lot of like. Fortunately, I might have to come back to this video later. Sorry. No worries, Damien. I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. But it has a lot of like low chi movement spells, and then high chi just kill your opponent's spells, right? Their cards, right? So you see like the suite of 7 and 8 chis on the right. Rending Blade, and Lunging Assault, all the suite, Precise Thrust. What is that? 6. So 14 cards that can do a lot of damage, and you have some other cards that can do a little bit of damage. You got your basic attack, but movement, and then big damage that can wait for breakthrough and pop. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I do actually like the no pain no gains. It's a good way to kind of slow the game down until you can get your big cards or draw a bunch of cards, right? Because your opponent's not going to want to hit you while you have this out. I guess, one thing that can happen is because you have so many 4 chis, and you're kind of reliant to end the game with your big hitters, is that there's definitely some games where you're just not going to draw them and might like fizzle out or something like that, right? I guess no pain no gain is like a way to around that, which I think is a great form. Like honestly, this deck is like I haven't played it, so I don't know exactly how it plays, but I think the theory behind it seems like pretty well constructed. So I actually do like it in just like the general look of it, because you see exactly what it how it's gonna play.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Earth Spear is great too. Although my pet peeve is that it's called a spear, but it hits left, right, and forward, and not forward, forward. Um, so, you know, uh, that just bothers me. But yeah, vaults are good. Yep, I really like lunge. That being said, maybe if you want to, so actually, do you want to share my screen? I can show the turn counter.
Oh, I can actually
Or
bring that up. But before they do that, something I would just like to mention myself is and you hinted at this with the synergy, but I just want to say it explicitly. ESSA has 3 energy reduction, right? And that is fundamentally a cost reduction. Which we've talked about before, how like paying less for cards or paying less to play spells and techniques doesn't win you games, but actually playing good things wins you games. But that being said, there is some min-maxing going on with no pain, no gain, because if you draw more cards off the no pain, no gain off for that just 8 aura cost, you get to maximize the effect of that discount. This is why, like, for example, Drawbreak is such a big part of Kasha decks, because you need to be able to get enough cards that resource cost actually matters in your game. Because, like, yeah, frequently if you've played Kasha decks that are trying to maximize, the blood payment, you'll find that you lose or win games, typically lose because Kasha has, a couple of things. She needs a bit of help. But you lose games with a lot of resources left over. So I do like this no pain, no gain concept as a centerpiece. And it's even 4-chi, unlike Drawbreak's 5-chi. So hey, we get to even improve our deck while we're doing it. Cool. With that, let's pop up into...
So we tried Earthbreak, but it just didn't work for draw. Yeah, Earthbreak is one of those ones that looks like it should be good on paper. I've literally never got it to work. I've tried it a bunch. It's really disappointing because it feels like it should be good, but like Earth is just, it's hard to get a lot of like procs of Earth damage compared to some of the others.
Yeah, it's lacking support. So hopefully, who knows, with more cards, we'll get there.
Oh wait, actually, I just sent you an updated one because the toughness got changed to 3 energy and not 3 aura.
Oh, gotcha. Thank you. I'll just take a moment to do that if you want to run distraction, I guess.
Oh yeah. So don't look at the man behind the screen. But so what we're going to do now, so like I said, I was complimenting the deck. It's got like a decent construction, but one thing we want to do is we're trying to min max, right? Like we're trying to be brutally efficient, and one thing we try to do is run the deck through a turns counter calculator. And this is a thing I made. If you want, I'll try to see if I can share it or something like that. But this is something we can kind of go through. But the general idea is, in a game of Genesis, especially if you're a kind of like a fighter, you try to want to end the game early, right? So if we look at here, at this deck list, so we have the deck list, we have the number of cards, chi, we have the costs, and so then we have the adjusted energy cost. So basically every single card costs 1 energy because you have to draw it, right? So you're kind of paying that every time you draw. But the general idea is when we get to the end of it, we have an aura turns and energy turns. So on the far right column, we have those. And that shows if you were to play every single card you drew, how many turns it would take on average to run out of that resource, right? So aura turns at 17.88 means that on average, you'll run out of aura between the 17th and 18th turn of the game. And energy, you'd run out between 10 and 11 turns in the game. And so what we see from that is that they're a little bit, skewed a little, and I think this is one of the things that happens with ESSA, right? ESSA's got 85 aura, so you try to not really run that many aura cards, but you end up overcompensating, right? You can actually afford to run more aura. You can you can almost double your aura count, aura spenders, to try to get down to, you know, that 7 to 10 range. I will say, because of no pain no gain, you can actually, like, even if you think you're going to end the game around turn 7 or 8, maybe you can go to or turns of 10 because you're going to draw some cards, right?
Yeah.
And energy turns, right? Energy turns probably okay. 10 is fine. But maybe we can get that down to 9 or something like that. Just like up the efficiency of the cards that we're playing. Obviously, it's not 100% a 1-to-1 in you know, how much you paid versus card effectiveness. But if we assume that that is a thing, then you know, we can kind of help this guide us a little bit. So looking at this, we're basically going to try to find ways to lower our aura turns while increasing the overall power level of the deck, right? But obviously, we don't want to just like lower the aura turns and make the deck worse, but we want to we know that we have aura to play with is basically our goal, and see if there's space to just play some cards that cost aura.
Yeah. And something that I'll add is that this also assumes, as Eric mentioned, that as you're drawing each card, you're playing it immediately, which is not typical of a game, right? Because you're going to try and, you know, craft a turn, you know, deal with some specific stuff. So that's something else you can keep in mind, right? Like, you know, the metric isn't perfect. But yeah, with that, I guess, shall we pop back to TTS and start taking a look at how we can adjust this guy. So for one thing, and maybe Jeremy can mention why, but I do wonder about this many toughen up. I mean, the rate is kind of solid, right? Like, it's, you prevent 2 damage, so if you think of that, gaining 2 health for at a 3 chi as it comes up. But I do wonder about just like 6 copies feels like a lot. I would love to get more Earth Strikes in here. So I don't know if there's like specific games that were experienced that caused this thing.
Yeah. So this is kind of like where we wanted Jeremy's input on this, right? Because, you know, we see toughen up and also movement as well. A lot of movement.
Yes, there's a lot of movement here in this deck, it feels.
And movement is great. It's one of the, you know, best things about the game. But it kind of sucks when you have like 5 vaults in your hand, right? Because then you know, what do you even do? You know, vault is a good card, and I would like to have like 1, maybe 2. But having too many means you don't really do anything. So yeah. First, like, is toughen up something that we can cut like 1 or 2 copies, maybe put some Earth Strikes in. And also, one thing we could do is, you know, cut some vaults, maybe like 2 or 3, and then put some Earth Spheres or more no pain no gains, right? Because it feels like no pain no gain is a really kind of holds it together as like a low chi card that really helps accelerate the game plan. And those both cause aura.
Yeah, definitely feel that we can convert some copies of Vault into Earth Spear. Yeah, I'm right there with that. I just want more things. So
let's say if I cut 3 vaults, we're already at 8, which is a lot. So I think 5 is fine, and then we go up to 8 Earth Spears and maybe 1 more no pain no gain. We're already down to 14 aura turns, so we just dropped like 3.5 aura turns. And I think we also have cards now, you know, a little bit more cards, like Earth Spear and No Pain No Gain are cards that you can just kind of play out, and are not as situational as Vault. Now our Thunder Strike's there, telling Kun. I imagine Kun. I don't know, actually. Jeremy, do you find you use Thunder? Who's the best Thunder Sweep target for you? Yeah, so John, we're looking at Jeremy's deck list right now. Made this Essa deck. It looks pretty decent, but we're kind of going through different things. We have our turn counter we just looked at. Earth Strikes never works for me. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Earth Strike isn't a great card. It's only 1 damage. Maybe It's not pressing. Maybe we could leave the 3 cheese as is for now. Or spear. Oh wait, or spear. Sorry, I was thinking Earth Strike. Earth Spear. Oh, I got confused. Earth Spear makes sense. Okay, so that's good. Or Strike never works for you.
Okay.
I know the naming is a little weird. Spear and Strike.
What does not work for you mean, Jeremy? Because like, if it's like you're never getting the discount, I mean, you don't really have to get the discount that often. It's more the fact that you're getting the damage in, like the strike cycle are all really good just because of the awareness. Like it's hard to make like just the forward awareness cards we're used to really actually hit. But the strike cycle with that forward awareness, like it was like a big upgrade for the 3 cheese and all the champions.
Yeah, and one thing you have to realize is that your Earth Strike stuns any summon, right? Like don't look at it like you have to realize that it also says stun summon on it, so and that could be very very helpful. And it's a cast, so it can hit anything really. So yeah, that's why we're kind of trying to figure out like what you mean by Earthstrike never works for me, right? Because like you don't necessarily need to get anything crazy out of it, right? It's not gonna necessarily completely swing the game, but it has a solid role.
But what else can we do here? Knowing that we need to spend some aura.
Yeah, and so one thing we can think about is maybe in the sideboard, we can put some extra electrical storms. We know we actually have like a couple. We have room for that, right?
Yeah.
So maybe 2 is fine in the main deck. Say sideboard, we take out both lunges and we put in some more electrical storms. All right, so now we're at 12 aura turns and 12 energy turns. Kind of even. Never in a good position.
Is that with more changes or just the changes we've done so far?
I said, yeah, no, if I take out both lunges and put in 2 electrical storms, we have 12 and 12.
Okay.
And that's just me talking about like maybe a sideboard change. Like I don't think you want 4 electrical storms in the main deck. But I'm just saying, like, when you're also thinking about the sideboard, you also need to do turn counters for your sideboard. So I just wanted to check what would happen if we did that.
Okay.
And it's always easier to do a 1-for-1, chi for chi. Yeah, storm on the sideboard. Yeah, that's good. And because we're running these this aura turns counters, that you can freely bring in those extra storms and not really feel too stressed about it.
So something to think about here, and it's always an interesting discussion when you're talking about fighters, is summons. Because theoretically we don't really want to have the action speed turns as a fighter. But there is something to be said about a beat stick that is a well-statted beat stick that is going to hit your opponent. And especially when we're trying to adjust our aura turns, like get more use out of our aura. Sometimes it's just you don't need much more than just like a solid summon to just provide a bit more damage.
Yeah. I think John kind of spoiled it right in chat. Ajna Tiger is kind of the. I mean, that's a very tigers are. Oh, did you not like them?
Oh, interesting. So the Ajna Tigers were tested.
Yeah, because I do feel like they're quite good with ESO. Because again, right, you don't have to use an action turn. You can still double move and play them. And if you trade them out for one of your 7 cheese, hit twice, that's already more damage than those 7 cheese are doing.
Let's see.
They're good for cleanup. They can really help like deal with a lot of the big HEs, right? Because you play them, hit an HE, then hit an HE on the next turn for a nice clean 6 damage. But I'm just curious because I want if because Jeremy says he played with them, so I wonder.
Yeah, just bring up the card for everyone, for the viewers at home who don't have who haven't devoted their brain to memorizing every Genesis card.
What?
But,
Wait, who's that? Who would do something like who
but,
wouldn't memorize every single card? I don't understand.
But yeah, Ajit Tiger is a quick beckon with Blitz, 7 chi, 5 health, forward awareness, basic attack 3, so the stats aren't quite there, but with that Blitz and that quick beckon, you can basically bring it out at the end of the last turn of the last summon or champion who's going, and then get a free hit that is hard to interact with, which is why it's so great. But yeah, so Jeremy's thoughts on that. Oh yeah, John saying Ajna is good for cleanup, but getting you the extra turn after opponents down stuff. Another one, just as another beat stick is Baruch. This one is a little bit more, I guess, in your face, and like here's the stuff on the tin. Like it's a bit more open and honest, shall we say. So 15 aura for a 5 health summon with Blitz and 4 attack. This is just one of the premier threats in Thymos. So that is where my kind of head goes for trying to adjust our aura turns. I wonder if like a single lunging assault could be a shave to get a summon in, and then I don't know where were you? Where were you?
I would actually leave the lunging assault. So I was just running the numbers, and if you take out both Sundered Sweeps and a Rending Blade for 3 Ajin Tigers, that will have 11.5 aura and energy turn.
The math cannot be disagreed with. Yeah, I mean, like, we can try that out. So sorry, that was a Rending Blade and...
Yeah, basically, yeah. So, 1 Rending Blade and 2 Sundered Sweeps.
And both the Sundered Sweep? Okay. And then get 2 more Tigers. And then, oh yeah, this Tiger is dodging the counter, but we still have a good...
I agree, Jeremy, that you need those lunging assaults. I think they're really good to have.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what the right number. You're probably right that 3 is like kind of the perfect number, because you want to try and see 1 every game. And yeah, with the no pain no gain and like 7 turns, I think probably that's kind of the right amount.
So there should be 1 more no pain no gain there.
Are we missing one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 8.
Yeah, because it was already. Oh wait, no, maybe Why do I have 9?
Did you?
Because we took out 3 vaults, right, and we added 2 spheres and 1 no pain no gain.
Oh, true.
Oh yeah, it was There's a 1 hiding under here. That's.
Oh, okay, so we do have it.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, no, you're right. We just start with 8. So. But yeah, so like the final adjustments for me is like the toughen up, like 6 toughen up feels like a lot. Like it is a strong card, but I want to get either more Earth Strikes, or even if it's like a Hardy Soup. Hardy Soup, you're not really paying for the fact that it's giving you an energy discount. Though I mean, like we have some big energy spenders.
I actually do like. I'm fine with it, just because Hardy Soup just is more action turns, and I think No Pain No Gain being the only action turn card in the deck, I think is actually really good, because that's like your setup card. That you want.
Gotcha.
And then like once you get set up, then you're just like going like full, double moving, hitting things, running at things, using your your movement tech and stuff like that.
So you're saying just to keep it, just keep everything swift speed.
Yeah,
And
basically, yeah. You want to just keep everything swift speed. And like it's hard to say. Yeah, Rending Blade was my original C of the deck, but now it doesn't seem as necessary. It's so hard to lose the hard-hitting 5 damage abilities. So are you saying you don't want to lose, your 2 Sundered Sweeps and a Rending Blade?
I mean, Thunder Sweep is our only, I guess, 6 damage ability, and
Was it 6?
oh no, it is 5. No, it's 5.
Yeah, I thought it was 5. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we're 5.
And like, it might be better to keep Sundered Sweeps and take out some Rending Blades. I'm not sure the exact amount, right? And this is why, we can get a lot of theory here, and I think we've massage the numbers a little bit, right, based on turn counter and trying to theory craft a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's hard to say like what's better, a Sundered Sweep or Rending Blade. I lean toward Rending Blade because of the Swift factor. Yeah. And that's basically it. Swift factor.
But yeah, I mean, I'll say in general that we have rapidly approached a time where it's like we kind of need to do testing now, because like this feels like a really fleshed out, like this deck was already a really solid fleshed out concept, and I think approaching
the last thing I would do is switch out 1 Toughen Up for 1 Earthstrike, but we don't have to do that.
Okay. So
but then I think once you do that, then you kind of test a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I say in your testing, whenever you're playing a Rending Blade, I guess look at the situation and see like, do I want this to be a Sundered Sweep instead? Since these are our 7 cheese and we can kind of flex them out, and then it's like, if it feels like there might be a split that needs to happen, then maybe like we start, remove 2 for the 2 Sundered Sweeps, or maybe it's just like 1 Sundered Sweep is the perfect amount. But just
and
go
also
from there.
Also, whenever you have an Aja Tiger, see if you'd rather have that Aja Tiger, or if you'd rather have the 5 damage technique,
Sweep,
right?
Yeah.
So that's another thing, right? See if Aja Tiger is actually better, right? Because like we're using math to say like, oh, because it kind of like lowers your aura turn, so you can actually run out of aura in a reasonable time frame. But maybe it doesn't fit with this deck. But I do think it does. I really like Aja Tigers. I took them to the championship. They come down testing your Earthstrike, Toughen Up, and the 7 cheese. Yeah, Sundered Sweep is recent add, Reign of Hours. Yeah, I mean you could keep them in the sideboard. I think they're pretty good. Especially if you see a lot of Iblisses or Kashas or whoever. So I wouldn't just toss them away. Could be decent to have.
Yeah, I will say I feel like the floor in Aja Tiger is quite a bit higher than Sundered Sweep, just because it's a lot more versatile. Like it's going to be good in a lot more situations. So like that's basically where it comes, because the Aja Tiger like secretly like is pretty consistent in getting 6 damage, because just of the way the gameplay goes is like it's coming out at the end of a turn, it's gonna run up and hit something, and then we're back to a new round. So it's immediately, regardless of who's going first or second, it's in a position to hit something, if that thing isn't the first thing that moves, right? Like, because wherever it ended up, it's ready to hit it again. So just like the texture of how the game plays out is really nice.
Yeah, it's 6 damage and something that they have to deal with, right?
Yeah. Cool.
All right. I mean, cool. I actually do think this is a pretty good start, right? Like I liked what I was seeing early on, and I think it had some. I think the no pain no gain was a great, I think, differentiator between the Acid decks I've built before. Because I built Acid decks pre-invasions and haven't really built any Acid deck since. But I think this is a great a great card for us, and a good one to kind of leverage, um,
Has
a
the
lot of these
strengths.
high keys, right? Yeah, that you want to like really get in there with.
Yeah, you're tipping over less cards with your energy payments. So let's draw more cards and then play more of them.
Yep.
Yeah, no, like absolutely.
Yeah, and also like one thing that keep in mind. So like right now you're at 11.6 energy turns. So it actually went up in energy turns, but because of lunging assault, you actually have a what is it a large
Oh, variance.
um, variance, yeah. So like while the average game you'll run out in 11 turns, there's going to be times when you draw 3 lunging assaults and and you might run out of cards by like turn 5 or 6, right? So it's fine to have like that's another thing we don't really calculate in this turns counter is the variance factor. But I think it's something to keep in mind that it's fine to go a little bit higher than you want. I imagine this deck wants to end the game between like turns like 7 to 10. If you're going to have that variance. Tiger's damage might not be focused on an opponent champ. That was my issue originally. I mean, you can then you got to focus the Tigers on the champ then.
Yeah. Yeah, like either I would say like I just really like how Argent Tiger lets you adapt to whatever your opponent's doing because your opponent's gonna be doing stuff as well, and like while your game one plan should always be focused on doing what you want to do and forcing the game into the situations you want. Argent Tiger I think is a really like reasonable way to have some flexibility while still be able to like get in that focusing damage.
Yeah. But that being said, I did and I did say at the start of the stream when we were looking at the deck, I did like where you're going with the deck.
Yeah.
And it's cool to see some of these older champions because we've already said we're on the testing team right now, so we're testing future champions. So like I don't really have time to build decks for old champions that much, which is a shame. But so it's cool to see what people are doing with them. And as you can see, like it wasn't that we didn't make that many changes, but we did use a little bit of math, a little bit of like min maxing, and just general knowledge of some like rules of thumb, right? Because we were like, oh, you might have too many movement cards in your deck, right? So we shaved a little bit of movement cards and put in some more cards that you like always want to see and always like really help you out, right? Because if you have no pain no gain, you're happy. If you have Earth Speed, you're happy. If you have 5 vaults, you're not happy, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of like you use the math to try to inform your decisions and stuff like that.
Yeah, you always want some movement, but like if you open a grip full of movement, then it's like, well, okay, this game is kind of just over.
Yeah. but yeah, no, I think it was a great base to work off of.
Yeah.
Consistency. Yeah, consistency is key. Some people like big swingy decks. I'm not one of them. But yeah.
Yeah,
well,
I will say this was
providing the deck. Yeah.
Thank you for providing the deck, Jeremy, and also maybe have a less good deck to start with when you provide us, so there's more for us to do. No, I'm kidding. Absolutely kidding. But no, like kudos to your deck building. Like this looked really great to start. And yeah, like like you've seen, like we're just kind of nudged a couple of changes here to try and get the consistency up, and then cover some of the weaknesses. That's all. Yeah.
And if you want to show the final like turn counts, I linked that.
Sent that. All right. So yeah, I'll just do this.
And if if anyone else has deck lists they want to send in too, we'd be happy to go over them.
Okay, so Leah, let's pop over to over here. So that is the old one. And then with a bit of luck, here is our final. So yeah, you can try and get them both on screen at once. That, you know, make the old one smaller.
Magic.
Look at that. So yeah, just some adjustments. Obviously, aura turns aren't the be-all end-all, but at least we know that we're gonna have more effective use of our resources with this, because we do want to spend our resources. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. If you end the game with, like, you know, and I've done this as well, with like 50, 60, 70 aura left, then and you know, it's even worse with a loss. But like, if you win with 70 aura left, it's kind of hard to make a you know, a say in how the deck actually worked. That's why actually losing is a great lesson. But if you lose the game and you had most of your aura left, then that should be a pretty big signifier that something you know, needs to be worked on. Obviously, you would have to it would have to have, like, say 5 to 10 times, right? You play 50 games and it happens a bunch of times, then that's definitely something to look at. If it happens once or twice, you know, it's kind of whatever. It's hard to say. It's gonna happen. You're gonna draw badly. Your opponent's gonna steamroll you, whatever it is, or vice versa. But the general idea is that you run out of resources at the same time because you're trying to, like, maximize the flow of just general power. And you know, power is the best way we can quantify that is resource cost per card. That's basically what we're trying to do.
Cool. If we don't have, I guess if there's nothing else you want to add to some final thoughts, Eric, or maybe those were your final thoughts.
Yeah, I guess my final thoughts would be to just take out like 1 or 2 toughen ups and put in the earth strikes.
Yeah.
But
kind of the whole
yeah,
there are no wrong threats, there are wrong answers. Like
yeah,
if you're staring at toughen ups, but you know, one damage. Like, would you rather ping enemy, like, you know, 1 health summon that's hitting you for 2, or would you rather just like blank its attack and then like have to deal with it again on the next turn, right? Like, it's it's better to just get rid of it, right? So, or just have 1 damage to hit the opponent with. Cool. But yeah, with that, I guess a little bit of a shorter stream today by 12 minutes. But I mean, it was a fun one for me. Thank you so much to Jeremy for providing the deck once again. And yeah, I guess like, share, and subscribe as always, so that, you know, we get we get more emotionally invested and we do more things for you guys. And yeah, I guess ta-ta for now.
Yeah, and yeah, thanks again, and we'll see you guys in the arena.
Yeah.